In this video, Dixalot starts the game of Payload in Thunder Mountain while waiting for the game to finish. As soon as the loading screen finishes, he joins the BLU team and picks Sniper. After being put into the game, he looks around and sees nobody in the spawn room with him but shrugs it off and types "What up, gays?" to see if anyone would respond. A red team player by the name of Ghillie Suit responds to him with Kais to try and warn him, but Dixalot responds back with rude to his remarks, believing it to be typical Team Fortress 2 behavior, not knowing what was going on with the server. Dixalot runs out of the BLU spawn room and sees that there is nobody on the battlefield fighting each other at all. He types "Where y'all at?" to know if anybody was playing, and while waiting for a response, a red spy player named Bredolphin decloaks behind him and runs past him in fear, shown through his spy player model, which catches Dixalot's attention. He pulls out his melee weapon, believing he would attack him, but instead witnesses him jumping off the cliff and dying out of bounds as shown in the kill feed. Dixalot thought he was being funny and said "LOL spy," after which Bredolphin disconnected from the game as shown via the chat box. Soon after, Dixalot hears footsteps from the first checkpoint and quickly swaps to his primary weapon, the Bizarre Bargain, and spots a red scout, Directions, running down from the first checkpoint. He tries to headshot him but misses his first shot as the scout was mid-jump, leading the sniper to sigh in frustration. Directions notices Dixalot standing outside the BLU spawn and stands still, nodding at him in fear, hoping he would shoot him. Dixalot doesn't understand at first and is slightly weirded out by the unnaturally fluid nodding motion of the scout's head, but he headshots Directions without hesitation, as shown in the kill feed. Dixalot believes they're bad at the game and types "Man, y'all are bad," but Ghillie Suit once again says Kais to try and warn him. Dixalot responds with "You too" and continues onward. He heads to the first checkpoint leading to the red spawn area, but again notices that there is no one anywhere. Soon, he looks down and sees a red heavy lying next to a large ammo crate, medium health pack, and medium ammo crate he left behind, presumably because he was killed. However, Dixalot has enough of the server saying "idle server BS" and tries to disconnect from the game but realizes he can't disconnect for odd reasons. He then looks down again to where the red heavy was before and sees that his body had suddenly disappeared. Knowing he can't disconnect, he notices the payload cart is near the last checkpoint and about to be reached, so he drops down to try and push it. Suddenly, he hears something from his left and sees a glimpse of a red Merc going into a house, which he didn't notice at first. He looks back at it again and instead goes after the red Merc to try and kill him with his tribalman's shiv, but it appears to be a red engineer moving unnaturally human-like. It is revealed to be Ghillie Suit, who has been warning him from the start since he joined the server, and again asks him to Kais while his mouth sinks to the way he talks in the chat box. Dixalot suddenly feels unease and confusion, with his sniper showing a shocked expression and wondering how Ghillie Suit was able to move so humanly by asking, "How are you doing that?" Ghillie Suit ignores his words and says, "You have to kill yourself," then slowly approaches Dixalot, trying to grab his tribalman's shiv. Before doing so, Dixalot asks him, "How are you moving like that?" which Ghillie Suit again ignores and tells him, "Leave while you still can," looking at him one last time before noticing something at the doorway and fleeing up the stairs. Left alone and confused, Dixalot turns around and sees the red heavy from earlier, now with 6 fingers lingering at the doorway. The red heavy tries to attract Dixalot's attention by luring him with one of Heavy's voice lines. Dixalot notices the 6 fingers on Heavy before they twitch, causing him to run away in a panic upstairs to where Ghillie Suit had fled. The creature follows in pursuit. Dixalot stops for a moment and sees Ghillie Suit laying on the floor in a pool of blood, having killed himself with the tribalman's shiv. While the creature says voice lines of the Mercs calling for help, Dixalot notices writing in blood on wall to his right, likely from Ghillie Suit, which says, "Don't let it take you alive." Dixalot turns back to see if the server blight is there before turning to the left window and jumping out to get ahead of it. The server blight goes up the stairs and starts pursuing Dixalot as he tries to run back to the BLU spawn area from the first checkpoint to the cliffside. Just as the server blight is about to reach him, Dixalot manages to jump off the cliff and kill himself by going out of bounds, after which the server blight backs away distortedly from the cliff and grows quieter from the distance. Dixalot is able to disconnect from the server, and his game crashes after the nightmare he witnessed.